Hey everybody, Jeremy Reed here. Today I want to talk to you about our body's pH, our pH balance. I kind of call it the silent killer because a lot of people do not pay. They didn't even know, they didn't even know there was a pH balance of our body, or they certainly don't know what it should be or what foods affect it. But it is very, very in tune with how healthy we truly are, and it can have some very serious long-term damages and consequences of being in a more acidic state. The normal range for our body's pH is 7.2 to 7.4. Now, you're probably asking yourself, okay, well, how do I test that? Here you go. There are test strips that you stick on your tongue and compare the colors, kind of like you do for a hot tub or a pool. Not the same thing. Don't stick a hot tub pH meter in your mouth. You can buy those at like a lot of health food stores. I guarantee if you live in a town with at least a health food store, you should be able to find it. Or they're available everywhere online, so you can order it online, even if you're in a tiny town. So 7.2 to 7.4 is the kind of considered normal range of our body's pH. 7.4 is when the oxygenation in our body, in our blood, is the highest. And that's when we are, quote unquote, going to be the healthiest. Now, this is the kind of the breaking point between being in an alkaline state versus an acidic state. In an alkaline state, our oxygenation is high. Our bodies are less likely to fall victim to bacteria, viruses, and it's a much harder place for cancer to grow. So, if you've ever heard, or I grew up hearing, oh, vegetarians never get sick. Well, okay, that's not completely the truth. Everyone gets sick from time to time, but vegetarians are less likely to get sick because due to the increased amount of vegetables and fruits that they're eating, their body's pH balance is actually probably more in the healthy range than the typical diet filled with tons of dairy, meat, grains even. And so, a vegetarian eating, probably a larger portion of vegetables than most people do have a better pH range. Now, am I telling you to stop eating meat? No. Am I telling you, I'm not telling you anything other than this is the facts. So things like meat, dairy, grains, there's quite a few. You can see a pH table, you can look it up on Google, and it'll tell you, classified of different things, what their kind of pH is and how it affects your body. But if your diet is very, very heavy in those things and very light in vegetables, fruits, even citrus, you're gonna have a more acidic body. In a more acidic body, bacteria loves to grow. So bacterial infections, sinus infections, ear infections, throat infections, everything, every type of bacteria infection, more likely to grow. Viruses are more likely to spread. Cancer is more likely to spread in a more acidic body. Also, and here's the kicker. Now, a lot of people are like, okay, well, if you're gonna get cancer, you're gonna get cancer. But here's another thing, especially for those looking to lose weight, drop weight, maintain their weight. If your body is in an acidic state, that acid in your body is actually, it's dangerous. It could eat the tissue in your body. And so in order for your body to kind of save itself from being eaten by the acid, it stores the acid in your fat cells. So you're thinking, okay, great, no big deal, my body stores it in the fat cells. Well, here's the bad thing. No matter what, no matter caloric deficit, no matter exercise, I eat healthy, whatever, if your body is storing acid in your fat cells, it will create additional fat cells in order to store that acid into. So your body, as a last-ditch defense mechanism, will make you fatter in order to store the acid in there when your body's in an acidic state. Also, when it's in this state, it is leached of calcium. And so with that calcium deficiency, your body then will pull, because it needs calcium, it will pull to get its calcium from your bones, your teeth, your nails, everything. And so what happens is, in that low calcium state, when your body's leaching from us, what happens when it continues to pull from your bones? What happens when it continues to pull from your teeth? These things will start to break down. And so the body's pH is directly related to osteoporosis. And again, a lot of people are like, hey, I'm in my 20s, or hey, I'm in my 30s. I don't run a risk of osteoporosis. Well, maybe not now, but if you continue living in this acidic way, this acid state, it is going to catch up with you. Then all of a sudden you're, in your late 40s, early 50s, and you're like, oh crap, something's wrong. Well, probably should have thought of that over the course of the last 2 decades. So that's why I kind of call it the silent killer. Also, cancer. Cancer is one of the #1 killers in our country or in the world. And in a more acidic state, cancer is way more likely to thrive and grow. And so we live this way, I don't eat a ton of vegetables, who needs them, whatever. But you're sitting in a very, very dangerous state that is just a growing ground for all of these things we don't want in our life: bacteria, viruses, cancer, and tons of other stuff. So it's very important. Now, how do we combat this? It's simple. Eat vegetables, eat fruit. Most fruits, most vegetables are very, very, very good at turning your pH healthy, normal, more in an alkaline state where these things are less likely to grow, where you're considered in a more healthy state. Also, the oxygenation in your body and your blood is much higher. This is always, always beneficial for you. So anyway, eat your fruits, eat your vegetables. I would recommend picking up some of those test strips, even if nothing more than a home science experiment, to see how your body's pH changes as your diet changes. Maybe before you change your diet, pick up some of those test strips, see what your baseline is, see what that pH is, then change your diet. And not only changing your body's pH, but I am a firm believer. Once you start incorporating way more fruits and vegetables into your diet, you're gonna see that your energy levels, your moods, all of this stuff become more pleasant, become healthier. And that's another interesting thing. Our moods can actually affect our body's pH. When we go through things like depression, loneliness, hatred, bitterness, all of these negative emotions, these negative kind of attitude emotions, our body's pH is more acidic. When we live in a state of happiness, joy, love, contentment, our body's pH is naturally more alkaline. It's naturally higher. And it is truly amazing how the emotions that we have can play a big part in how healthy our body is too. Maybe that's why they say stress can cause cancer. Makes your body more acidic. Makes it a thriving ground for cancer to grow. Anyway, I hope you found this informative. I know I was kind of blown away when I started learning more and more years ago about the body's pH and our need for fruits and vegetables, our need to stay kind of more stress-free. I mean, none of us are going to be able to avoid stress. Life is life for all of us. But trying to train our mind to think more positively, eat healthier, these are all things that you don't realize behind the scenes how much it's actually helping you until you are 60 and healthy, until you are 45 and not getting diagnosed with cancer, and all of these things that you hear horror stories and you're like, oh man, he's so young. Well, the diet can play a lot into that as well. So anyway, share this with your friends. I'd really appreciate it. Check me out on Facebook, facebook.com/Jeremy Reed Fitness, Instagram @Jeremy Reed Fitness. Check out my website, jeremyreedfitness.com. I have a brand new recipe book on there. I have other ebooks that are coming out soon. I've got fitness programs and tons of information on there. So check it out, jeremyreedfitness.com. Say hi. All right. See you later. Have a great day. Bye.